Now we're going to look at a couple of characteristics of the Braillenote Apex. First, let's look at the keyboard. You'll see there's a typical spacebar and 4 keys on each side. We typically use it in combination with each other to form the Braille letters, symbols, numbers, etc. and also to perform the commands to control the Braillenote Apex. And that's one of the beauties of this device. There's no mouse or touchpad to bother with, so it's quite easy to use for people who are blind. Very much of the functionality is done with shortcut keys, for example E for email. If I move towards me, we will have the Braille display, the little pins going up and down if I perform commands on here. Then, towards me still, are the thumb keys. You can see there's a lot of thought that went into this device. If you merely want to use it for reading, you will use these thumb keys to read backwards and forwards from line to line, without having to move your fingers from the Braille display. On the left side really, you have your typical on and off keys, and also, quite notably, a recording button. Yes, you can also use voice recordings on this device. Next up are the USB ports. Very important, because in a school setup we would use flash drives with content, whether it be textbooks, assignments, or any sort of work required by the learner to be placed on the Apex device. A learner can then write Braille using familiar Braille commands and keystrokes, and the Braillenote Apex will translate it so that a teacher can read it using their computer with any standard word processing software. That's your USB ports. Notably then, we also have the VGA, or the screen port. This allows you to connect the Braillenote Apex to a monitor, as we've done here, in order for the teacher to follow along what the learner is doing. Whatever they're writing in Braille, the teacher can see on the screen in print to make sure that there are no mistakes made. And of course, all the modern wireless connections are available, Bluetooth as we mentioned, Wi-Fi, which allows you to connect to the outside world.